Welcome back, brothers and sisters and scattered sheep of the scattered nation of Israel and visitors. Welcome back to all of you. We're going to continue our study in These Be the Words, Deuteronomy. These are the words, Dabarim, these words. Deuteronomy. We're in chapter 1, and I want to go right back into it. We were reading chapter 1. We had done a little history of who we are as a people and why this particular volume of all the volumes particularly shows us who we are as a people. And one of the things we brought out before is in These Be the Words, Deuteronomy, it's covering several areas. First of all, it's covering the history of our ancestors. And that's very important to the awakened Hebrews, more than anything else. Now, again, brothers and sisters, I am convicted on a couple of areas, and I teach by my conviction. I have no hidden agenda in terms of I'm not trying to start a church or get rich from the ministry. I have no denomination to put anybody in. My goal is to bring what I am convicted my Heavenly Father in Messiah wants me to bring. What I have been, I believe, brought into existence to do. And so, based on the Spirit's conviction and me having read this word, I'm giving you what I'm convicted, and I can answer to the Father, Yah, without clear conscience, knowing that that is my only goal. With that being said, I am convicted that anyone that is a descendant of slaves from the Atlantic slave trade or the transatlantic slave trade or the sub-Saharan slave trade is a bloodline Hebrew. Anyone that was from a history that has ancestors that are Taino or Inca or Mayan, and you were in the lands that the Spaniards came and took over, so that those lands speak mostly Spanish now because of the Spaniards that came there, led by people like the abominable Christopher Columbus. You are also of the northern tribes of the Hebrew stock. And that there are others spread to lands like the Philippines and Australia and in other parts of the world, Southern Asia, that are also of the Hebrew stock. This is my conviction. And when I say, the reason I bring that out as my conviction is for a couple of reasons. And I don't know if it's me or if the Father is telling me this, but I have very little tolerance for argument and debate. I don't have any tolerance for it. If you want to disagree with me, disagree with me. If you want to question me, go ahead and question. Somebody said, well, I question your analysis. I don't care, honestly, because I'm only doing but what I'm convicted to do. And I don't care about someone's, what they want to question or don't question or don't believe. That's not my job. My job is not to make people believe. Again, from the word and from the conviction, I believe it's the Spirit's job, the Spirit of the Father. Again, what the Messiah said, no man can come to me, Messiah said, except he first be drawn by my Father. So it's not for me to make you believe. It's not for me to convict you or to debate you into believing the way I believe. It's my job, my calling to teach the word as I'm convicted to teach it. And so my conviction is that these be the words is the history of my ancestors and of anyone who is the descendant of slaves, ancestor. anyone who is a descendant of slaves or of the what they call, and I don't even like using the word Native American, because America wasn't. It's not what this land was called. But the land is not called Native America. But anyone that is so called Native American, to me, you're the northern tribes. Okay, that's my conviction. So therefore, as we're reading Deuteronomy, these be the words, we're reading about the history of our ancestors. And I speak with the conviction like that. I'm not debating with anybody whether it's true or not. I'm convicted that it's 100% true. That the people that were on the slave ships are Hebrews. Somebody asked about the East Indian. I can't tell you about every single person on planet Earth. I can tell you that in India, there's a sister that did documentaries. There's people in the midst of India that the Indians even ignore, and they look like they come straight from Africa. I gotta find that for you, and I'll show you. But they did a documentary on these people. They live in the midst of the jungles, really, the midst of the land of what's now called India, and they look like they come straight from Nigeria, or they come straight from Ethiopia. They know it. It can't be denied. You see them, and they're completely different than the people that live around them, and they are treated as the lowest caste in India, which meets the definition of what Deuteronomy tells us about our people. Okay, they're scattered into lands, people that don't know them. Yeah, they call them untouchables. That's right. That's exactly right. That's right. They're in India. And so you can find that there. But I can't tell you about every single sect of people on planet Earth. I can only tell you what this book shows us. And there's plenty enough there for me to be convinced of who it is and what it is they're talking about. Okay. But yeah, there are people in India that don't fit the rest of the Indians. But the West Indies, that's different. Yeah, you seen that? Yeah, sister. If somebody can get the link to it and put it in the description in here in the chat, so everybody could see if they wanted to get that. Only one way asked about East India. So if you get that link and you could put it in there for him, so he could see it, and that way it's there. But that's what I know about them. And when you see it, there's no question who they are. There's no question who they are. All right. So let's look at again Deuteronomy chapter 1. We're going to begin again at verse 1, but this time I'm going to read from verse 1 down to verse 8. Deuteronomy chapter 1. So we're going to go here into the history, our ancestors' history, as our ancestors left Egypt and were going toward the promised land, and are now at this point, as Moses is recounting this history, they're at the promised land. They're at the borders right now. Okay, at that point. So Deuteronomy chapter 1, I'm going to read from verse 1 to verse 8. These be the words which Moses spake unto all Israel on this side of Jordan, in the wilderness, in the plain over against the Red Sea, between Paran and Taphah, and Laban, and Hazeroth, and Dizahab. There are 11 days' journey from Orah by the way of Mount Seir unto Kadesh-Barnea. And it came to pass in the 40th year, in the 11th month, on the first day of the month, that Moses spake unto the children of Israel according to all that Yahweh had given him in commandment unto them. After he had slain Sihon, king of the Amorites, which dwelt in Heshbon, and Og, king of Bashan, which dwelt in Ashtaroth, in Edrei, on this side Jordan, in the land of Moab, began Moses to declare this law, saying, Yahweh, our Most High, spake unto us in Oreb, saying, Ye have dwelt long enough in this mount. Turn you and take your journey, and go to the mount of the Amorites, and unto the places nigh thereunto in the plain of the hills, and in the vale, and in the south, by the seaside, to the land of the Canaanites, and unto Lebanon, and unto the great river, the river Euphrates. Behold, I have set the land before you. Go in and possess the land which Yahweh sware unto your fathers. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to give unto them and to their seed after them. So now, and when you read Exodus, and when you read Deuteronomy, and when you read Numbers, you kind of get Moses is giving you three different views of the same events when you read these things, and you'll see different views. So in Numbers, it appears that the elders came to Moses and said, let us go spy out the land first. I mean, here, but it appears in there in another place that Moses, the Most High, told them to do that. So in some places it says that the Most High just said, go get it. And in some places the Most High said, well, send out spies. But you get different views of the same picture in three different places, in Exodus and Numbers, and in, of course, here in Deuteronomy. So here he's telling them, they were at Mount Sinai in Oreb, the whole nation, 1 million plus people. And the nation was told, it's time for you all to go get your land that I promised to your fathers. So he said, go get it. So they were going and started their 11 days journey. Verse 9, and I spake unto you at that time, saying, I am not able to bear you myself alone. Yahweh your Most High have multiplied you, and behold, ye are this day as the stars of heaven for multitude. Yahweh Most High of your fathers make you 1,000 times so many more as ye are, and bless you as he hath promised you. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? Yeah, there were over 1 million Hebrews at one place. Y'all know we stiff-necked, right? Right? Y'all know we the most stiff-necked people on planet Earth. You know we are. Imagine Moses having to be the leader of 1 million stiff-necked Hebrews. Can you imagine that? And he said, no, I can't. He told the Most High, I can't do it. I can't take it. He told the Most High, I can't deal, man. No, I can't do it. All right. So it was at that time that the Most High told him to get 70 elders. Even when you look at it like that, okay, you're talking about, oh, really? You got to remember, you're talking about over 1 million people. There were over 1 million people because it counted 660,000 men of war. Didn't count the children, didn't count the women, didn't count the men that weren't men of war. And if you look on the history of the earth, generally speaking, women outnumber men from the beginning. Adam and Eve had women first. They had daughters before they had their first son. They had multiple daughters. When you read it carefully, you'll see that. So women have always outnumbered men. Why did the Most High allow that? Very simple. One man can get as many women pregnant as he can. One woman can only be pregnant by one man at a time. So if you're trying to build a nation or build a population, one man can impregnate, however many women he can impregnate. But one woman can only be pregnant once for 9 months and carry whatever she's carrying, twins, triplets, whatever, for 9 months. But multiple women can be pregnant by one man. So you're always going to have an outnumbering of the women, historically speaking. Although now, because we're at the end, you're starting to see men outnumber women in some countries. That's showing you the end. But during the course of history, women have traditionally outnumbered men in most places. Okay. And so there was over 1 million people out there. When you have 660,000 men of war, that tells you there were over 1 million people out there. And so even 70, if you took 70 and you divided them up over the million, it's still, each man has a lot of responsibility. So Moses is like, I can't deal with all your strife and all your arguments and all you Hebrew stiff-necked by myself, right? Verse 12. How can I myself alone bear your cumbrance and your burden and your strife? Take you wise men and understanding and known among your tribes, and I will make them rulers over you. And you answered me and said, the thing which thou hast spoken is good for us to do. So I took the chief of your tribes, wise men, known, and made them heads over you. Captains over thousands, and captains over hundreds, and captains over 50s, and captains over 10, and officers among your tribes. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with them. See? So again, even then, he's taken into account the grafted in. See? Whenever you hear mention of the stranger that is with them, that's your grafted in Hebrew. These are people not the bloodline, but are grafted with the Hebrews and counted as the Hebrews, counted together. Excuse me 1 second, brother. 1 second. Sorry about that. All right. All right. So Moses told them, I can't be dealing with all of you by myself. So he took and made leaders and judges and told them to judge righteously people that were wise among the people, people that were filled with the Father's Spirit. Matter of fact, let's take a look at Numbers for a second. I want to show you this in the book of Numbers. Numbers chapter, let me see. Wait. Yes, Numbers chapter 11. Numbers chapter 11. Let's compare this. Numbers chapter 11. And I'm going to read Numbers chapter 11 from verse 14 down to verse, let me see, 17. From verse 14 down to verse 17. Numbers chapter 11 from 14 to 17. And this is Moses speaking to the children of Israel. Again, what we just read in Deuteronomy. I am not able to bear all this people. He's speaking to the Most High. I'm not able to bear all this people alone because it is too heavy for me. And if thou deal thus with me, kill me, I pray thee, out of hand, if I have found favor in thy sight, and let me not see my wretchedness. And Yahweh said unto Moses, gather unto me 70 men of the elders of Israel, whom thou knowest to be elders of the people and officers over them, and bring them unto the tabernacle of the congregation, that they may stand there with thee. And I will come down and talk with thee there, and I will take up the spirit which is upon thee and will put it upon them. And they shall bear the burden of the people with thee, that thou bear it not thyself alone. Now, brothers and sisters, the Most High, we know from the word, he will never put on us more than we can bear, right? We know that from the word. He will never give us more than we can bear. So, as leaders, and this is for you brothers especially, because again, I want to just stress my calling is to teach this word to brothers that are going to teach this word. The Most High called me to do that, to teach this word to brothers that are going to teach this word. So brothers, let me say this to you. Never take on more than you're given. Take on what you're supposed to take on. And if it gets too much, call on your father like Moses did and say, Father, this is too much. And sometimes he will say to you, I got you. Keep going. I got you. And other times he'll send someone or send some help to help you. Never think, brothers, as teachers, that this work only depends on you. I am replaceable, and so are all of you. The Most High loves us enough to have chosen us to be privileged to teach this word. But don't ever think you cannot be replaced. He could raise up a stone as he told John the Baptist to say, he could raise up a stone to the children of Israel if he wants to. We are blessed to take this. And that's why Moses' response was this: let me not see my wretchedness. Moses knew he could pick another man. He said, take me away. I can't do it. Let somebody else do it, but let me not see my wretchedness, because he's saying, I'm failing you, Father. And that's how sometimes we would feel when we're especially being under pressure, right? And we're all going to feel that. We all have felt it. Don't ever think the work depends on you. Remember, brothers and sisters, the work is of the Father. Now, we are blessed to work for the Father, but it's his work. Our redemption, our change into the spirit of righteousness is not of us. It's of the Father. It is he that makes us and not we ourselves. Okay? So the development, the work of development, the work of us wearing righteousness, the work of us being changed is of the Father. It's not of us. So when you're feeling overwhelmed, remember that. It doesn't depend on you. It depends on the Father. And if you're feeling like it's too much, tell your Father, it's too much. I'm feeling like it's too much. What should I do, Father? And he will show you. I 100% guarantee you. I can bear with it. He will show you. He will show you. Okay? He will show you. You're not alone. He will, that is, the Father will make you feel like you're alone. Why does he do that? Look, let's look at this pandemic situation. For a lot of us, the pandemic shut us down. And it shut us down at the time when we were awakening. You think that's accidental? Whereas we have very little to do but pray and study this word. And you had nobody else that you can fellowship with that believing as you're being shown. Is that accidental? No, it's not accidental. Why does he do it that way? Because it's him and you. And he wants you to trust him. So that when it seems like everybody's against you, and brothers and sisters, we're coming to a time in history where our friends, our close friends, our cousins, so our family are going to turn against us. And if you're convicted, I'm not trying to tell you to go stubbornly to the truth. If you're convicted that what you believe is true, you must stand for it, even against all your family, that's friends that's going to go against you. And you're going to feel alone. But see, the Father is already preparing you because he's dealing with you alone. Okay? And it's going to be very important. And some of us will be blessed to have one or two brothers we could call on in that situation and encourage each other in the truth. Very important, isn't it? But there'll be times when you don't have those brothers, or they were not around, or you can't reach them. And it'll just be you and your Father. And he wants you to feel comfortable with that. Okay, he wants you to feel comfortable with that. That you and your Father are enough. Okay, it takes time. It's not something that happens right away. Look, it took Moses 40 years. He left Egypt at age 40 and was age 80 when Yah called him. 40 years of preparation, what it took Moses. You and I, we don't have 40 years. There's about 10 years left in this thing. And so Father's doing it for us now. See? It's good that we have fellowship with each other, and we should encourage each other all the time. Seriously, we should. But just remember, the day is going to come where it's just you and your Father. And it's going to be just me and my Father and my wife. That's it. Okay? So just remember that. It's important. So Moses, he realized, I can't do this, man. I can't do this but myself. And the Father said, okay, I'm going to get 70 people, 70 men that is like you. I'm going to put my spirit on them. And I'm going to have them help you so you don't bear the burden by yourself. Okay? Praise the Most High. Thank you, Akawambanya. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 1. Let me see. I'm going to go from I'm going to start at verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 1 from verse 16. And I'm going to go down to verse 22. Deuteronomy chapter 1 from 16 to 22. This is the history of our ancestors. And I charged your judges at that time, saying, hear the causes between your brethren, and judge righteously between every man and his brother, and the stranger that is with them. Ye shall not respect persons in judgment, but ye shall hear the small as well as the great. Ye shall not be afraid of the face of man, for the judgment is yours, and the cause that is too hard for you, bring it unto me, and I will hear it. And I commanded you at that time all the things which ye should do. And when we departed from Oreb, we went through all that great and terrible wilderness, which ye saw by the way of the mountain of the Amorites. As Yahweh our most high commanded us, and we came to Kadesh-Barnea. And I said unto you, ye are come unto the mountain of the Amorites, which Yahweh your most high doth give unto us. Behold, Yahweh thy most high have set the land before thee. Go up and possess it, as Yahweh most high of thy fathers has said unto thee. Fear not, neither be discouraged. And ye came near unto me, every one of you, and said, we will send men before us. See, they came to Moses at their father, said, go get it. They said, wait, before we do that. We will send men before us, and they shall search us out the land and bring us word again by the way we must go up and into what cities we shall come. So the father said, go get the land. And then they said, wait. Let's send some spies in there to look at it first. Now, what does that tell you? It means they were hesitant. It's like with Gideon. How did Gideon choose the 300 men? Y'all remember when you read about Gideon and he had like 100,000 men with him? And Moses said, no, it's too much because you're going to give man glory. And I need you to understand I'm delivering you. And so they went down to a river to drink water. Remember that? And there was a sign that the father gave Gideon. This is how you're going to choose the men, right? Remember that? The men that knelt down and put cups of water to their mouth like this to sit and drink, he said, those you send home. He said, the ones that got on all fours like a dog and lapped the water up and jumped up ready to go, he said, them's your men, right? So why was he doing that? Because the ones that got down on all fours were ready, willing, and able to fight. The ones that were sitting down drinking were kind of hesitant. They were like, man, let me think about this for a second. Oh my goodness, we're going to be going to war. I might get killed. So he said, you send them home. But the ones that jumped down on all fours like a dog and lapped up the water, he said, them was the ones ready to fight. Well, what'd they do? He said, go in and get the land. They said, wait. Let's send some spies in there first. Let's send some people in there and let's look at it first, before we go in, just to see how, what it'd be like. And that set it up for what happened later, which we know what happened later, right? So let's continue. Yeah. So let's continue. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 23. So they came and they said, well, let's send some spies. So in verse 23, and the saying pleased me well. And I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe, right? So he said, okay, that sounds like a good idea. All right, so I'm gonna take a warrior out of each tribe. And I'm gonna send 12 of y'all into the land, right? So I'm gonna take one of a tribe, and two of those men of the 12, one was from Ephraim, and his name was Yahushai. His name was Hawashai, but Moses changed his name to Yahushai. And the other one was from the tribe of Judah. That was Caleb. So you had Judah and Ephraim, the two leaders. Later on, they would be the two leaders of the nation, Ephraim and Judah. So wait a minute. Let me show you this. In the book of Numbers, let's go back to Numbers. Chapter 13. Numbers chapter 13. Now, I'm going to start at verse 1 and go down to verse 16. Numbers chapter 13. Now, note the names, especially Caleb and Joshua's name. Note the Ephraim tribe and the Judah tribe. Numbers chapter 13 from verse 1 to 16. Notice what it says. And Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, Send thou men that they may search the land of Canaan, which I give unto the children of Israel. Every tribe of their fathers shall ye send a man, every one a ruler among them. And Moses, by the commandment of Yahweh, sent them in from the wilderness of Paran. All those men were heads of the children of Israel. I want you to say, they keep saying children of Israel. That's the chosen people, Jacob's children. That's who we are, our fathers. Okay, and these were the names of the tribe of Reuben, Shammua, the son of Zakur; of the tribe of Simeon, Shaphat, the son of Ori; of the tribe of Judah, Caleb, the son of Yaphunneh. Okay, Caleb, tribe of Judah. Tribe of Issachar, Agal, the son of Yahushaph, Yaasaph. The tribe of Ephraim, Hoshea, the son of Nun. Hawashah, if you look that up, it's the same as Hosea, the book of Hosea. It means to save. Hawashah, to save or savior. Okay, watch this now. So that was Hawashah, the son of Nun. That was Ephraim. So you had Hawashah, the son of Nun, and you had Caleb, the son of the tribe of Judah. Okay. All right, let's continue. Of the tribe of Benjamin, Palti, the son of Raphu. Of the tribe of Zebulun, Gadael, the son of Zati. The tribe of Joseph, namely the tribe of Manasseh, Gadi, the son of Sushi. Of the tribe of Dan, Amiel, the son of Gamali. The tribe of Asher, Sathor, the son of Micah. I love these names. Of the tribe of Naphtali, Nabi, the son of Vophshi. Of the tribe of Gad, Garal, the son of Maki. Now watch verse 16. These are the names of the men which Moses sent to spy out the land. And Moses called Hawashah, the son of Nun, Yahawashah. Do you see that? So Moses said, okay, your name is not no more to save. Your name is Yah exists to save. Yah exists. Yahawashah, that's your name now. Not just Hawashah exists to save. It's Yah exists to save. And guess whose name that was? That's the Messiah's name. Yah exists the same. Praise the Most High. He's changing his name. Why? Moses was a prophet, or should I say, Moses is a prophet because he's still alive. And he knows who Messiah is. And we know Messiah is going to lead us into the promised land. And we know Yah exists to save. And Messiah is Yah's Savior given to us. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Back to Deuteronomy chapter 1. Deuteronomy chapter 1. Okay. Beginning at verse 23 again. I'm reading from verse 23 down to verse 28. Deuteronomy chapter 1 from 23 to 28. And the saying pleased me well, and I took 12 men of you, one of a tribe. And they turned and went up into the mountain and came into the valley of Eshcol and searched it out. And they took of the fruit of the land in their hands, and they brought it down unto us and brought us word again and said, it is a good land, which Yahweh our Most High doth give us. Notwithstanding, you would not go up, but rebelled against the commandments of Yahweh your Most High. Now, I want to also point this out, very important. When it says rebelled, in the New Testament, it will say they didn't go in because of unbelief. But the interesting thing is the translation in the Greek of the word unbelief is the word rebellion. See, it says ye rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh. And in the New Testament, it'll say they went not in because of unbelief in Hebrew. But the word unbelief is the same as the word rebellion. Now that's deep, isn't it? So when we don't believe or trust in our Father, what are we doing? Rebelling. Isn't that something? When we don't believe what our Father tells us to do, when we choose not to believe him or we distrust, we are what? In rebellion. We don't believe. So but you rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh. Why? Because he said, go take the land. And they said, no, we can't. He said, yes, you can. They said, no, we can't. That's right. That's right. So look, verse 27. And ye murmured in your tents and said, because Yahweh hated us, he hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the land of Amorites to destroy. Now, wait, this is the first crew. This is not the children of the first crew. This is the literal first crew that came out of Egypt. That were the crew that had the firstborn, that had their firstborn delivered. The crew that had the blood over the doorpost. The crew that saw the 9 other signs and plagues that hit Egypt. The crew that walked across the Red Sea on dry ground. The crew that was over 1 million that heard the Father's voice give them the covenant. This was them. And they said, you brought us out here to kill us because you hated us. May we not be of that. Brothers and sisters, this is given for our admonition. This is given for us to read. Father knew from the beginning of time that this was going to exist and that you and I would live at this time, that he would bring us forth as the children of these people so that we can look at it and see what our fathers have done and that we will not repeat their mistakes by his grace. By his grace. Brothers, sisters, I had to look at it like this, and I hope you do too. I would have done what they did. See, now I'm looking at it and I can say, man, that's crazy, right? Because what? We're playing Monday morning quarterback. Are we not playing Monday morning quarterback? For you sisters don't know what that means. That means you telling somebody what the right thing to do was after you saw the right thing to do. But at the time, you wouldn't have known it. We play Monday morning quarterback, right? Because all of us could look back and say, man, they crazy. Man, what would they do that for? Man, they should have believed the Most High. But see, if it was us, we'd have did the same thing. But now, because of the mercy of the Father, we can look back and see the history of our ancestors and say, oh man, okay, by the grace of the Most High, there, but for the grace of the Most High go I. You know what? I don't want to make that mistake this time. Father, prepare me, give me the grace that I can stand for you the right way. Because otherwise we did just what they did. We are their children. We are their children. They're our fathers. We did the same thing. But we see it and we're saying, whoa, man. But now we know. Because brothers and sisters, we're going to be placed in the same position. Bottom line, you and I are going to be placed in this position. And our Satan's going to be whispering in our ears, you lost. Oh, you're done. You know you're done. He hates you. He brought you out here so you can get trapped and get killed. And we're going to have to trust the word of the Father. Man does not live by bread only, but by every word that proceeded out of the mouth of Yahweh doth man live. You got to remember that. Let us encourage each other in that word, brothers, because that's us. That's us right there. Okay, that's us. Deuteronomy chapter 1, verse 27. And ye murmured in your tents and said, because Yahweh hated us, he hath brought us forth out of the land of Egypt to deliver us into the hands of Amorites to destroy us. Whither shall we go up? Our brethren have discouraged our hearts, saying the people is greater and taller than we, and the cities are great and walled up to heaven. Moreover, we have seen the sons of the Anakim there. Then I said unto you, dread not, neither be afraid of them. Yahweh, your Most High, which goeth before you, he shall fight for you, according to all that he did for you in Egypt and before your eyes. So Moses reminded, remember what he did for y'all just a couple of weeks ago? That's what it was. Remember, it was 11 days journey. Just a couple of weeks before, just about a month before, maybe 2, he had delivered them, and they already forgot that. Brothers and sisters, please. And I pray that you would pray for me too. Let us not forget. Now, look, you and me, all of us have a testimony. Can you not go back in your life? Can you not go back in the history of your own life and know there are times when you should have been done and the Father saved you? Don't you remember? There's times when you say, if I could just get out of this jam, I'll never do this again. right? Boy, I messed up. Oh, Father, you can just get me out of this. I promise I won't do it again. Let us never forget what he has done for us. You see, that's what they did. Our fathers forgot. They forgot all about what he did for them. My wife and I will say this term to each other all the time. We'll say this term. And it seriously helps us to remember. He didn't bring us this far to drop us. We're always saying that. There were many times in the course of buying this house that I'm in that I was about to say, forget this house, man. Forget it. I'm going to leave this house with my father. I'm not buying it. Forget it. And then my wife would say, he hasn't brought us this far to drop us. Or my wife would say, man, what are we going to do? We got to get this fixed. We got to get that fixed. And I would say, and he hasn't brought us this far to drop us. Or when I lost my job, I said, he hasn't, when I was writing that resignation, my wife said, what are we going to do? We got to get the mortgage. I said, he hasn't brought us this far to drop us. We got to keep reminding ourselves of this, brother. Where did he bring you from? You know where he brought you from, and I know where he brought me from, right? And we will remember, he brought us from wherever he brought us from, and you can say, and I can say, he hasn't brought us this far to drop us. Does that make sense? Right? He brought us through all kinds of troubles, multiple times. And we can bear witness of the troubles he's brought us from. And we can say, here we are today, and he hasn't brought us this far to drop us. You understand? So that's what our fathers forgot. All of the things he delivered them from, the plagues he delivered them from in Egypt, walking on dry ground through the Red Sea, hearing the Father's voice from Mount Sinai, seeing Moses' face glowing. They had all of that, and they forgot that he didn't bring them that far to drop them. Instead, they said he hates us. He hates us, and he brought us out here to kill us. You understand? This is how we learn. And you see again, brethren, this is our ancestors. This is not no third party, brethren. These are the bloodline of our fathers. These are our ancestors. This is our family history, and it's showing us our fam. Right? That's it. Glory to the Father, right? This is our family. We're reading about us. Isn't that beautiful? We're reading about us. Okay? We're reading about us. Okay, Deuteronomy chapter 1, let's begin at verse 30. I'm going to go from verse 31 down to verse 36. There you go. And in the wilderness where thou hast seen how that Yahweh thy Most High bare thee, as a man doth bear his son, in all the way that ye went, until ye came into this place. Yet in this thing ye did not believe Yahweh your Most High. In this thing ye did not believe Yahweh your Most High, who went in the way before you to search you out a place to pitch your tents in fire by night to show you by the way ye should go, and in the cloud by day. And Yahweh heard the voice of your words, and was wroth, and sware, saying, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see the good land which I swear to give to your fathers, save Caleb the son of Jephunneh. He shall see it, and to him will I give the land that he hath trodden upon, and to his children, because he hath wholly followed Yahweh. Now we know Joshua was also included in that, but he's mentioning Caleb because Joshua was so close to Moses. He ain't need to include Joshua because Joshua was the secretary, and he had already planned on Joshua being the one to lead the children of Israel into the land of Egypt. And he told Moses that this was Moses' final adjustment, but he mentions Caleb of the tribe of Judah. That same land that he dwelt, that he stood on, the land which was Mount Moriah, the land that became Jerusalem later, the land of David, and of course, Messiah, right? So he said, Caleb. You know, Caleb means a dog. Caleb like a dog, like a junkyard dog, man. I love Caleb. My grandson, my son knew I loved the name Caleb, so he named him Caleb. My firstborn grandson, he named him Caleb. Caleb means dog, bold, like a dog. And you know, you can use dog in a couple of ways. You could use dog as a negative term. You know, these are a bunch of dogs. Messiah said this woman is a dog, right? Or like, you know, if today we say, that's my dog, right? Y'all know what I'm talking about. That's my dog right there. Or, you know, a dude that can really ball, what you call him? That brother is a dog. Caleb was a dog. Right. Where my dog's at? Caleb was a dog. He said, and that's what he's saying. He said, Caleb, my dog. Rest of y'all ain't going in. But Caleb, my dog's going in. That's right. And dog will defend the master's property and defend the master's honor. Well, not a dog gonna defend. Like Malcolm X once said, you see a dog in the street by itself, wandered from home, he won't mess with you. But if you see the dog on his master's porch and you try to come up on the master's porch, that dog will come at you. He'll fight, right? He said, none of these men are going to see the land and say, Caleb, my dog. There, God love that. There, God. And when you see Caleb, wait, let me show you. Numbers. Actually, no. Is it Numbers? No, it's not Numbers. I think it's Joshua. Joshua. Yeah. Joshua. Watch this. Watch my dog, man. Watch my dog right here. Hold on. Let me find him in here. It's my dog right here. Wait. There you go. Because you know what? They were scared. Once they got into the land. Wait, here it is. Hold on. Yeah. Hold on. Okay. This is for all you old heads. Like me, that got gray on your hair. This is for all you old heads. You ready? Joshua, the book Joshua, chapter 14. The book Joshua, chapter 14. Okay, you ready? Joshua chapter 14. I'm going to read from verse 6. I'm going to read from verse 6 down to verse 13. Okay? Joshua chapter 14 from verse 6 to verse 13. Matter of fact, I'm probably going to end it here for this part right here because I want to end on a high note with this one here. Okay. Joshua chapter 14 from verse 6 to verse 13. Ready? Then the children of Judah came unto Joshua in Gilgal, and Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, said unto him, now Caleb is talking to Joshua, thou knowest the thing that Yahweh said unto Moses, the man of Yah, concerning me and thee in Kadesh-Barnea. 40 years old was I when Moses, the servant of Yahweh, sent me from Kadesh-Barnea to spy out the land. And I brought him word again as it was in mine heart. Nevertheless, my brethren that went up with me made the heart of the people melt, but I wholly follow Yahweh, my most high. Take note of y'all, Jew. Take note, Southern Kingdom. Take note. Wait a minute. And Moses swore on that day. Moses swore on that day, saying, surely the land whereon thy feet have trodden shall be thine inheritance and thy children's forever, tribe of Judah. Because thou hast wholly followed Yahweh, my most high. And now, watch now. This is it right here. Watch you old heads, verse 10. And now, behold, Yahweh hath kept me alive, as he said, these 45 years, even as Yahweh spake this word unto Moses, while the children of Israel wandered in the wilderness. And now, lo, I am this day. It was his birthday. 85 years old. So he was 40 when he went to spy the land the first time. Now he's 40. He said, today I'm 85. Wait. He says in verse 11, as yet I am as strong this day as I was in the day that Moses sent me. As my strength was then at age 40, even so is my strength now at age 85. For war, both to go out and to come in. Wait, now therefore, all he's waiting for is permission. Now therefore, give me this mountain. Wherefore Yahweh spake in that day, for thou heardest in that day how the Anakim were there, Anakim, the giants, and that the cities were great and fenced. If so be Yahweh will be with me, then I shall be able to drive them out, as Yahweh have said. And Joshua blessed him and gave Caleb unto Caleb the son of Jephunneh, Hebron, for an inheritance. I don't care how old you are. Remember Caleb? He said, I was 40 years old. That's when a man becomes, in the Bible, a man becomes a grown man. 40, right? 40, the number of testing. He gets there at age 40. Brother Kadesh-Barnea, you're going to be 40 this year, right? That's when you get to be a man. You're 40 now. Okay? Wait. He said, I was 40 when we got sent over there. He said, I'm 85 today. And brother, I'm just as strong right now to take the land as I was then. I could go to war today. All I need is your permission. Give me this mountain and I'm taking it. Praise the Most High, baby. Praise the Most High. Woo! Lord. You can't tell me. He said, the Father told Moses, none of y'all going into the land. Except Caleb, my dog. Woo! Lord. None of y'all going in except Caleb, my dog, going in. And that dog stood up. He said, I'm ready to go. Joshua, just give me the permission. The giants are there. But the Most High be with me. I'm going to take it. Tribe of Judah. Stand up, Judah. That's right, baby. Southern Kingdom of Judah Day. Praise the Most High. It's a whole different thing. When you understand you're reading about your family, it's a whole different thing. There's nothing like it. Only those of us that could really speak on it, because this is who we are. This is where we from. It's us. It's us right here. Good, bad, and ugly. It's us. That's us. Why do you think people say that, right? People, some people say, why you call each other dogs? Man, you don't understand. We don't understand how history, we're a product of history. People don't want to, and your reason is because the people that are from the children of Yafet that are running this earth, they don't want to talk about how they got to rule it by the bloodshed, murder, and war, right? So they don't want you to know the true history. But brothers and sisters, all of us are products of history. So when you talk about my dog, where'd that come from? Right here. Caleb, baby. That's where it came from, Caleb. Now you know. When somebody said, that brother could play, he's a dog. Where you get that from? Caleb is where you got it from. You are a descendant of him. And brothers talking about Messiah soft and flowery, and he just loves everybody. Man, that's a tribe of Judah, baby. What? Come on now. That's a tribe of Judah, man. What? He came to die for the sins of his nation, and he has surrendered himself to do it. Takes a dog to do that now. And he come up out that grave. And when he come back with his kingly robes on and the sword, brothers, they don't want to see him. No, they don't. They don't want to see him. See, that's what I'm saying. Government could listen. They could be watching all of this and saying, who is this guy? You ain't got no worry for me. No, you ain't got no worry for me. But my cousin, you better watch my cousin. Never mind my daddy. My cousin. My daddy sending cousin Yahweh Shai. He's sending cousin Yahweh Shai to the scene. Y'all don't want to deal with him. He's sending the cousin. The fan. Praise the Most High. I'm so, man, what can you say? Praise the Most High. That's right. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. That's all I can say. Praise the Most High. Praise him. That's right. Like prayer. Oh man. We so stiff. One day I was in a restaurant with my daughter, and I had what did I have? I had some sangria. And I said, man, this tastes like Kool-Aid. My daughter laughed. Basically said only a Hebrew would say something like that. Because we stiff-necked hard people. What could I say? What can I say? I ain't gonna tell you exactly what she said, but basically, only a Hebrew would say something like that. But you see, we hard people, man. We stiff-necked. That's how we are, man. That's how we are. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High is all I can say. Well, brethren, please enjoy the rest of your Sabbath. As you can see, we already having fun, are we not? Are we not? We already having fun reading about the history of who? Of us. We're reading about the history of us. This is our history. This is who we are. Okay? We're reading about our father, our history, who we are, man. Where we come from, how we got here. Praise the Most High. Praise the Most High. Ain't nothing like it. Ain't nothing like it. Nothing like it. Pray for me that I be faithful to the Most High. And I'm going to pray for you, brothers and sisters, that y'all be faithful to the Most High. That we all do his will. May the Most High bless you and keep you. May he cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. May he lift up his countenance upon you and give you peace. Shalom.